Welcome to Innovation Daily, where we explore how new ideas transform industries. The show where we ask why some innovation take over cities and others die in the lab. I'm Zhang Di.
I'm Jiaqi, and today we're talking about electric mobility and one company doing something very different, Gogoro. Because let's be honest, nobody really wants to wait 40 minutes for fast charging. Most electric vehicle companies focus on building better batteries or better scooters. But Gogoro took a different approach. Instead of charging batteries, it built a battery swapping ecosystem.
And that raises a really interesting question. Is Gogoro actually innovating in products, or is it innovating in how organizations cooperate? To unpack this today, we have invited three experts. Andrew, our Gogoro expert, who will explain the company's strategy today.
Thanks for having me.
Anika, an academic expert on cooperative innovation today.
Hello, I'm happy to be here.
Finally is Heidi, an automobile industry expert, who will give us the industry perspective today.
Thanks for having me.
So before we go straight into Gogoro, let's set one baseline. If innovation is a product, one company can often build it and sell it. But if innovation is infrastructure, sites, safety rules, standards, daily operations, it usually needs multiple actors to move together.
Exactly. And that's why today is less about a cool gadget and more about coordination and cooperation. Anika, in infrastructure-heavy innovation like battery swapping, why does cooperation become almost unavoidable?
It's obvious that no single firm can own every parking lot or rewrite every regulation or build every scooter. So collaboration isn't a choice in infrastructure, it's the only way to make the socket useful before the money runs out.
So what we are really saying is, with infrastructure innovation, the bottleneck isn't just technology, it's whether the whole chain moves together. And that leads perfectly to Gogoro, because swapping only works when multiple parties adopt in sync.
Yeah, I also think so. So Andrew, let's make this come straight from the company side. Gogoro isn't just selling scooters. It's built a battery swapping network. What coordination challenges does its infrastructure model create that in traditional product innovation really doesn't?
That's a good question. So the way I see it, our key coordination challenge is ecosystem alignment. Unlike product innovation, where a company can design, manufacture, and sell independently, infrastructure innovation requires multiple stakeholders to move together in sync. Our battery swapping model depends on scooter manufacturers, riders, government regulators, property owners, and energy providers. If any one of these actors lacks, the system doesn't scale effectively. So the challenge for us isn't building great technology, it's synchronizing adoption across partners, markets, and policy environments. Infrastructure innovation needs coordinated system execution, not just product excellence.
So quick follow-up, where does the delay usually show up first? Approvals, patent alignment, or user adoption?
So in our market, the first delay usually comes from regulatory approval and infrastructure placement. Battery swapping stations need permits, grid connections, and suitable urban locations. So working with local governments and property partners is often the initial bottleneck.
So the highlight is the challenge isn't only energy, it's centralizing multiple actors so the system can scale.
But I have a question that leaves me puzzled. If you build something valuable, your instinct is to protect it. But Gogoro opened the swapping system to other brands. Gogoro lessens battery swapping to other brands like Yamaha and Hero. Why choose adoption speed and network utilization over hardware exclusivity?
So here at Gogoro, we aren't just building scooters, we're also building energy infrastructure. Battery swapping only works at scale when the network is widely adopted and heavily utilized. If we kept the technology exclusive, growth would be slower and our stations would be underused. By licensing to partners like Yamaha and Hero, we accelerate adoption, increase utilization, and strengthen the economics of the entire system. The more brands that join, the more riders that use the network, the stronger the network effects become. In the long run, controlling the infrastructure layer creates more sustainable value for us than protecting our hardware exclusivity.
So just to pin it down, this is a strategic trade-off, less exclusivity, more utilization, and ecosystem scale, correct?
Yes, this is what we're saying. We can't do both, and this trade-off is what makes our company profitable.
Okay, we have heard the company logic. Now let's translate it to a clean concept. Because cooperation sounds simple, but actually cooperative innovation is more special fit. So Anika, how would you define collaborative innovation in a way that fits infrastructure ecosystems like battery swapping?
If we look at the infrastructure around us, the lights in these rooms, the grid powering them, that wasn't built by one firm in a vacuum, it's built through collaboration. Let's talk about the Gogoro's battery swapping network for scooters. Battery swapping isn't just a product, it's an infrastructure ecosystem. To understand that, we need the Anders theory. We need to look at co-innovation risk and co-adoption risk. Gogoro isn't just managing knowledge flows, they are managing interdependence. The battery park, the scooter, the swapping station, the gate operator. If any of these actors fails to adopt, the whole ecosystem dies. So here, the collaborative innovation is not a handshake, it's a shared utility.
Oh, so it's coordination as a strategy requirement.
Great. Now let's connect the definition to open innovation, specifically inbound and outbound flows. Open innovation emphasizes inbound and outbound knowledge flows. In Gogoro's case, what counts as inbound and what counts as outbound, and why do both matter strategically?
That's a great question. If we look at Gogoro through the lens of Chase open innovation, we can see the standard flows. For inbound, they bought in Yamaha not as competitors but as complementers. Interesting, their manufacturing expertise to fill the streets with vehicles. For outbound, they license their battery IP to those very same rivals, pushing their technology out of the market. Gogoro's real innovation isn't battery, it's the orchestration. They provide the stable core. For example, the scooter maker don't have to innovate swappable batteries. The retailers' partners don't have to become energy experts. They just have to plug in. This turns old model inside out. The most powerful firm isn't the one with the brightest light bulb. It's one that builds the grid and convinces everyone else to plug into it. Thank you.
Thank you, Anika. So the picture is clear. This isn't just about a clever battery. It's about building a grid behind the idea and getting everyone to plug in. And that's where things get real, because once you build an ecosystem, you don't just gain partners, you also gain dependencies.
Okay, let's bring in the industry lens. Eddie, from an automobile industry perspective, battery swapping is capital intensive and infrastructure heavy. So collaboration can feel like a double-edged sword. Battery swapping is capital intensive. Does collaboration reduce financial risk or create systemic dependency risk?
Battery swapping takes a lot of money and a lot of setup. So collaboration is a double-edged sword. It reduces financial risk because Gogoro can share investment, use partners' capabilities, and scale faster without building everything alone. But it also creates dependency risk because success depends on many partners moving at the same time. If one key partner is delayed, the whole rollout can slow down.
Oh, so collaboration can lower the cost burden, but it can also raise the everyone must move together risk. Got it. So when entering new markets, what is the biggest scaling constraint? Complex regulation, partner alignment, or consumer behavior? Which one hits first?
So for Gogoro type battery swapping expression, partner alignment usually is first, because before complex Spanish can be used effectively, Gogoro needs the right combination of actors to move together, like OEM or vehicle partners, local operators, fleet demand and energy or infrastructure support, and often regulatory acceptance. In fact, alignment is weak. Capital expenditure gets strained, rollout slows, and consumer adoption stays low even if the demand exists. So even if Gogoro has the money, scaling is still stalled because the ecosystem is not fully aligned. Battery swapping is not just about building stations. It only works when vehicle stations, local operators, fleet users, and often regulators are ready at the same time. If one part is delayed, the whole rollout slows down.
Okay, that's a strong headline. In new markets, it's not money first, it's alignment first. Which also explains why battery swapping feels like a system, not a standalone product. You can't scale one piece in isolation.
So finally, quite lightning round. One sentence for each one. What is Gogoro's innovation strategy really about?
Our innovation strategy is about reimagining urban mobility by building a shared energy network that makes electric transportation faster, smarter, and more accessible for everyone.
Gogoro's innovation strategy is about building a battery swapping with partners, not just about selling scooters.
Gogoro's innovation strategy is orchestrating sharing platform, or they not only sell the endpoint device but own the whole system.
So today's takeaway is simple. In infrastructure innovation, technology matters, but orchestration and alignment decide the winner. That's Innovation Daily. Thanks for watching. See you next time.